records. Okay, so welcome to all of. We'll start our today's class. So today I was, in the last class we discussed about introduction about programming and computers. How we, uh, why we need computers to learn about computer. Why we need programming language. Okay, and our main plan was to teach you or to make you understand the three programming language like C++, Python and Fortran. That is our main goal, to teach you or to make you learn. And also two computing software, we can say software it is like Mathematica and Root. So today I will teach you how to install Mathematica in Linux. In the previous class we already discussed about what is mean by Linux, because it is a kind of operating system what we discussed in the last class. So today I will teach you how we can install Mathematica. It is a little bit of complicated process, not complicated, but if you know, it's very easy. So I'll try to explain you how we can together try to install Mathematica in Ubuntu or in Linux. In the next class, we will discuss about how to install root in Linux, because these two are basically some graphical interpreter which will be help you to understand when you will do some coding. Okay, so this will be important for us. Great. So in the last class, in day one class, what we learn about, we will discuss about introduction to computers and programming. So I taught you what is important to learn about programming and about computers, why it is needed, and what is the purpose of computer programming. And also I teach you in what purpose in daily life how we can use computer. And then I taught you what is programming mean, and what is a and how and how you can control your desktop or laptop or whatever the system you are using the programming. Okay. Then I discuss about the hardware part of of your system or of your computer. I discuss about CPU. I discussed about main memory, and also discuss about the secondary storage device. Like we discuss about the hardware, and according to hardware, we discuss about what is CPU and all this mean, and what is the purpose of the CPU in your system. We discuss about the main memory. We discuss about the secondary storage device, which is like we all know, like pen drive, hard disks, and all these things. Okay. Then we discuss about the input and output device. Like as an input device, sometimes we use mouse, keypad, all other input device, and output device like we sometimes use CD or compact discs to use as an output device, to store any data, something like that. Okay, as I already told you in the previous class, our main motivation not to be masters on hardware part of the computer. We are not interested on the hardware part. Our basic interest to learn about the software, because I want to teach you how you can be masters on your computer. So hardware part is already installed there in your system, so we are not bothered about that. But what we are interested, that is about the software part. And I told you in the previous class that there are two part of software. One is called system software and application software. System software means as we already discussed about operating system like Linux, Windows, and all these things. So these are the system software. And there is some application software like we can use sometimes Microsoft Word or Photoshop. So those are the application software. So we are not bothered about the application software also, but we are basically interested about the system software in this part, about the software development tools. Great. So I already discussed about in system software. There was three part. One was the operating system, like Windows, Mac, Linux. Those are the operating system. There was a utility program like the virus scanner and all these things. But as I already discussed you, we are interested for the software development tools, like some programming, which we can create, we can modify, we can test, and using that we can control our system. And this was your homework. So I think all of you already did and send it to me in my email. So I will check it by tonight and I'll let you know the answer and your marks. Okay. So now we are going to start about today's class, which is again some introduction about programming, computers and programming, because today as I already discussed in the previous class, today I will discuss about how we can store some number in computer, which is interested to know, though it is not very much mandatory to learn how we can store number in your computer for the coding or the programming, but we should understand this one. We should need to know how this number is stored in your system or in your computer, because then we can understand in more details way whenever we do some computer or programming. So that is our main target, to understand how we can control our system, how we can learn how to run programming. But before that, I want to teach you about the basic details about computer and programming. So when we will be start and when we go in more details about programming language, then it will be more easy to you to catch. Okay, so this part is not very much mandatory to understand or know, because this will not help you to coding, but it will be help you to understand whenever we do something. Okay, so now I guess you can see. Okay, let me just stop share 1 second. I don't know. Share. Share. Okay. Mm, mm. Okay. So today I was first planning to discuss about how computers store data. So I'll expect today's class will be around 30-minute class. So it will not more than 30 minutes for today. And tomorrow I will start with the programming and all. So today again still introduction class. So it was my plan to teach you in the previous class only how we can store number or data. But as it was introduction class, it took some time to make you familiar with the computer and programming. Okay. So it's very interesting to understand how computers store data. So as I already told you in the history of computer in the previous class, the main interest to build up a computer was to store data. But nowadays we use in so many different purpose, that is different thing. But let's first try to understand how we can store data. Before that, I want to tell you. So this all of you already learn in your school about binary number, or like if I give you some number or decimal number. So in computer does not understand. Is like if try to write your name in my computer and I want to store it. Nowadays, it is very easy and you just simply write a number. But for computer, it is really, really difficult job, because computers store each and everything in terms of number, and that number in terms of 0 and 1 only. That what is mean? It mean, I can, it's like if you want to do anything using your computer convert everything in terms of 0 and 1. So you have to understand how we can convert any number to 0 and 1. So before to going in detail, I want to teach you one thing. So let me um, you know Mm, this one will be better. Okay, okay. Suppose I give you a number 127. Okay, so can you see this number, right? So I asked you to store this number in your computer or in your desktop, whatever you are using. But now to computer, it is very difficult to understand what is this 127. They don't know. They don't know yet at all what is 127. So we have to make your, see, it's like very interesting, right? The computer first do everything for us, but it does not know anything apart from 0 and 1. So what we have to do, we have to convert this number in terms of 0 and 1. So how, as you all know, you know from your school, so what we do, we suppose we divided this number by 2. So if I want to divide this number to, how much it will be? 6 3, right? Something like that. 36. And there is one remainder, that will be 1. If we still continue this one, this number will be 3 1 1 will be remainder. And if we divide it by 2, it will be 15. 1 will be remainder. 2 7 1 will be remainder. 2 3 1 will be remainder. 2, then 1 will be remainder. So if I do this number 127, okay, so this number also we can write in terms of 0 and 1, and that is equals to, wait, what happened? Mhm. Okay. This number we can write like 1, we write from the downside, 1 1 1 4 5 6 6 1 1 1 1. So this number is something like that. No. So now whenever we want to store anything in computer, that will be stored in terms of 1 or 0. Or if I take something, one other number, suppose if I took 1, so suppose I want to store 12. Okay, how we can store this number? So what we have to do, we have to divide this number by 2. So it will be 6. We have to, and there is no remainder, 0. And then maybe once again 2, 3. So the remainder is 1. Oh no, how will the remainder be 1? The remainder will be 0. Then 2, remainder is 1. 2, something like this. Okay, so it will be 100, something like that. So a computer memory is divided into tiny storage location known as bytes, and one byte is only enough memory to store a letter of the alphabet or a stored number. And in order to do something meaningful, a computer has to have a lot of bytes. And most computer today have, say, whenever we want to buy some computer, we always check some what is the memory of this computer. And it should be like huge memory. Like whenever you want to buy some phone, also we need some a huge memory number, like some few MB, GB. Nowadays we're talking about GB or TB sometimes. Okay, so we need a huge memory. Okay, even sometimes billion of memory, or we call billion of bytes. So now, but each byte is divided into eight small stories. Like if I'm talking about one byte, so and something like this, and we can divide this 8 byte into small, this kind of 8, it's called bits. How many it is? 6. Let me make one 7. Let me make one here. So this is the full one is called one byte. It's one b y t s, one byte, and this one is called one bit. Now, the term bit stands for binary digit. The computer scientists usually think of bytes as a teeny switch that can be either on or off. What does it mean? It means if I give some, now look at, let me just clear everything. Clear all drawings. Let me write this everything once again. So what I said, I need some space here. So I consider, so according to our basic concept, we talk everything in terms of byte. Okay, byte. So one byte is 8 bits. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there are 8 bits. Okay. So now, if I want to store a number, let's consider 100. Not 100. This number, let's consider 90 or 70 or 60, 70, 70. So what we have to do? Again, we have to consider, get some binary number, 35. So this number will be, how much it will be? 0. Let me see this one. 0. Then if I divide by 2, it will be 17. So one number will be there. If I divide by 2, it will be 8. One number will be there. Then if I divide by 2, then 4, then 0. 2, 2, 0. 2, 1. So it will be 100 100 110. So it number will be, so I can write 70. You can check by yourself once again. Maybe if I can make some mistake, but still it will be something like 1, then 0, then 0 once again, 1, 1, 0. So this is called binary digit. So this is decimal number. We convert the decimal number in terms of binary number. Now we can think in terms of switch. So as I already according to this picture, so we can, so it is 1 means your switch will be on here. So here is an on example for something else. So it is 1 means your switch will be on. Next is 0. So this switch will be off, or we can start from here, or off, then on, off. There is nothing means off and off. So this 8 bits, this 1 byte, when you want to store this 70 number in this byte, so it will be like, it will be goes like 1 here, then this will be 0. I can take a different color, maybe that will be easy to understand. So here it will be 1, here it will be 0, 0, then 1, 1, 0. Then again it should be like back in there is nothing. Well, because we don't have any number here. Okay. So computer scientists think a positive charge as a switch in the on position and negative charge is the switch in the off position. So whenever some number will be given, you have to convert this number into binary number, and that number will be stored in your computer in 1 byte. Okay, and 1 byte is consist of 8 bits. Is it clear? Great. So I can share. Now, uh, suppose I have already discussed you how to store the number. So a bit can be used in a very limited way to represent number, depending on whether the bit is turned on or off. If it is 1, it is turned on. If it is 0, it's turned off. It can represent one of the two different value. In computer system, a bit that is turned off represent the number 0, and bit that is turned on represent the number 1. The corresponds perfectly to the binary numbering system. We already discussed in the binary numbering system how it is work. Now, so whenever you wanted to store any number in your computer system, so you have to convert the number into a binary number, because your computer only know about 1 and 0. They does not care about if you give any other number. They will only interested about 0 and 1. So if you have any number, you have to convert this number into a binary number, like 1 0. If you want to store 70, so it will be like 100 110, and that number will be stored in that byte. Okay, and now here is one more example. Like, now question is, how in 1 byte, how big number you can store, what is the largest value that can be stored in a byte. Like here, we can take one example of 255. So if I want, once again, what is my, okay, someone new is joined. Can you hear me? What is this, Kajol?
Yes, I can.
Okay, fine. And also you can see the screen, right?
Yes, yes.
So now question, as I already, so we actually started at 4:30, at 4, I think, in Indian time. No, in European time, because I am in Europe now. And the class is actually for the SM Foundation student who are already joined in that, and there are 40 students. So, and this is second class today. Maybe you joined first time today. So today we was discussing about how we can store number in computer system. So it is very basic standard introduction for today's class. And as I already discussed, so whenever we want to store any number in our computer system, our computer does not know anything apart from 0 and 1. So we need to convert any number into 0 and 1. So all of us is already learned this thing in our school time. So it's not a big deal to understand this one. But and this is not important once again for your programming whenever we are discussing the next few class about the programming. But it's always good if you know something in details, then it will be help you to understand later whenever we do some coding in the next few classes. So here you can check by yourself. If you use a number like 255, we can take some number 255, and this number we can convert into binary number, and we can see in that case all this bit, or so we consider, as you already said, there is 1 bit and there is 8 bytes, and in all bytes it will be something 8. Anyway, it can be 8. It's something dot 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 dot. So it will be 1 1 1 in all position. So maximum in 1 byte we can store 255 number. Great. So this is about how we can store number in our computer system. Okay, now there is another interesting thing what we have to understand whenever we want to store any, where is, yeah, this one. So whenever we want to store any kind of letter, suppose someone want to write his name in the computer system. So nowadays it is not a big deal, because we are so familiar in using the mobile, or nowadays all of us use anyway some computer in different purpose. So it is very easy to write something, store something. But in the beginning, when the computer was developed and it is built up, so that time it was really a big deal to store some character. So number is okay, fine. They can stored number in your computer system. Like if you give any number, they can convert this number into some binary number. They can store that number. But question was how they can store something like any character. So then there is a one American society, and they construct. There was a huge conference when before this, when they're planning to store some character also in the computer. And historically it is a very important for all of us when the computer was developed or built up. And according to the American standard code for information interchange, it's called ASCII. Sometimes we use in our different purpose, like we call this ASCII code. So they decide, if you give some character, according to that character there will be some number. And now if you want to store any character, so according to that character, there are some number, and that number will be further convert into binary number. Like here is an example. According to ASCII code, A corresponding to A, there is some number called 65, and you can convert this number 65 into binary number, and this number will be stored in your 1 bit. And here this zero means the binary digit. And according to the computer scientist, when anything is zero, that means the switch is off. Anything is one, switch is on. And there is, if you search in the Google, you can find out the ASCII code for each and every character. And according to, you can just simply convert this character into binary digit, and you can store that number in your computer system. Okay. And also nowadays, our this is our actually biggest achievement, when someone, for basically for the developer who developed this computer and the technology. Nowadays our technology is advanced a lot. Before we can't, the people who are like, suppose nowadays 60 years old, and those who are working on the computer scientists like that, for them they cannot imagine 40 years back, if they go back that time, the advantage of the advance, how much advanced our technology is now. Because nowadays our technology is advanced a lot, and it's changed everything. And recently there are a lot of experiment is going on throughout the whole world. Like one of the experiment, the biggest experiment in the world is called CERN, European Center for High Energy Physics. So they use a lot of computing power, and they itself develop the computing system a lot, which actually help for our all human being who are living in this world, and who want to use the advanced technology. So it's really very much important to learn about the computer system and to learn about the programming, because our time is changing very fast. So if you want to compete with the world, then you have to be advanced in programming or in computer. Because without computer or without programming, nowadays everything is really tough, because everything is changing very fast. And if you want to compete with our recent time, then you need to be advanced, and you need to be more experienced about the programming and computer. And nowadays also, when like I am working with Sun, and I know when I check some data from the experiment, I see the modern technology what they use to store the number. There are a lot of modern technology they used when they want to store the number. So this was a very beginning when the computer was developed. That time any number or any character was stored in terms of binary digit. But nowadays the technology is so advanced, they don't bother about anything. They can do whatever they want. So this thing is really motivating for all of us who are working in programming or computer or in the software world, software development and all these things. So for them, it is really kind of it provide energy every day because our technology is moving so fast. We don't whatever the scenario is today, we something can be rapidly changed tomorrow. So you have to be masters on programming, you have to be know properly your computer system, and you have to be know properly the programming language whatever you are using. So doing programming is something different, and doing knowing about the your system, about the procedure, how they store number, or how they're doing something abracadabra. So this thing is also important, because if you know this very simple stuff, if it is clear in your mind, then it will be really energy. You will got energy every day whenever you're doing some coding. Sometimes doing coding is sometimes become like boring. I write some coding, I write some statement, so it's like why are doing this thing. But you can imagine how our modern technology is developed, and everything is based on the programming language or the programming or the softwares, because nowadays everything in the world is controlled by the softwares, and those softwares is written in terms of programming. So the main point whatever I'm talking right now is like you have to be concentrated and you have to learn very well about the programming. So there are, okay, let's go back, come back to the point what I was discussing. I was discuss about the how we store number in computer. So I said there are two way. If there is some number, they convert that number into binary number, and that number will be stored further. And if it is character, then also we can convert this character into some, according to the ASCII code, there are some standard number according to every character, and that number will be converted to binary number and it will be stored. Nowadays we can use some more modern technology. Now someone can ask, okay fine, you told me uh, I know how to store 70, but if you give some fraction number like 3.1 something is value of pi, so if you want to store this number, then what he or she will do? So this is something interesting to learn. And sometimes computer also able to store negative number, some real number. So whatever number it will be, you have to know how it can store. So this is your homework. You have to tell me in the next class how you can store a number like 3.14159, this by this value of pi. Okay. And computer are also often to refer as a digital device. The term digital can be used to describe anything that use binary number. So digital data is data that's stored in a binary. And the digital device is any device that works with the binary data. And suppose sometimes when you talking about some image, so every image also be composed of tiny dots or color. It's called pixel. So according to every pixel, there are some number. So that number will be stored in your computer. And basically the pixel stand for the picture element. So every pixel has some small pixel, and every pixel has some number, and that number is further stored in your computer. Okay, so this was one thing which was remaining to discuss in the last class. So today I am discussing about how we can store any number in your computer system. Okay, now I'm telling you how you can. So today I'll be try to play with Mathematica. It is one of the software which we can use for the graphical method. So I'll teach you how you can install Mathematica or in Ubuntu. Okay, so as I send you all of you about the crack version of the Mathematica. But if who are not get it yet, so you can go to my Google Drive, and there is a one file called there is something called zip file. You can download this zip file in your system, and who are basically this is zip file for Ubuntu, but who are using Windows, you can find out this zip file. There is one link for YouTube, you can just have a look, and you can find out the zip file for Windows, and you can install by yourself. So but I am going to tell you how to install Mathematica in Ubuntu. So, okay, those who are using the Windows, you can go to your terminal now. So first, all of you, I guess you are downloaded this version, the crack version of Mathematica. Now you can go to your terminal and type this command sudo apt-get install one. So this is kind of tunneling it can do. Okay, so I guess you did this one sudo apt-get install one. Then go to your directory where you downloaded this Mathematica zip file and extract that zip file into a particular directory where you want to store. It's done. Great. Now use this command sudo, because this is a bash file, sh file. I will discuss in one of the class about this sh file and all this thing. So go to now type sudo bash, the name of the file, whatever you downloaded or extracted in your directory. Okay, so whatever the prompt you are getting, just enter all the prompt and wait for few minutes. It will be take some time to install. Maybe it will take 2 or 3 minutes to install in your system. Okay, so when it will be done, installation will be done, you can run, you can go, like I can show you. Okay, this, not this, I can. Okay, like if you go to here software, you can find out the Mathematica. So after installation, it will be there will be one prompt and it will be create like this. Okay, but now you have to, when you first time install this one, then there will be one problem. So you have to generate, not problem, you have to generate some key. Okay, so okay, I get, you get some prompt and there is some they told you to generate some key. Okay, now click on the other so to activate key and choose the manual activation. Okay, now if you go to your directory, like I can show you here, like I home directory, and then I store my Mathematica here in the directory Mathematica. So if you go, so this is the bash file I run. Okay, now there is one more directory called crack. Now there is one readme file you can read. So okay, this is a readme file, and there is one. So if you click on this one in this cage and HTML, it will be asked you for some. Wait a minute, it will be asked you for some key and password. So you can use the key. So this can be the key you can use 1 2 3 4 4 3 2 1 1, whatever is right here, 1 2 3 4 5 6. Use this key, and and also you can get some math ID when at the beginning of this prompt. Okay, and just click on the, press the generate button. It will produce some key password, and then you can use this password and this key to activate your Mathematica. So it's very easy to activate Mathematica. But now I am going to teach you how we can, let's just for a fun for today, one small, okay, we can just open one test something. Not open, we have to create new document. So I generate one document like this. Okay. Now, what is the purpose of this Mathematica? Why I am uh, doing this Mathematica and why I am start with Mathematica? Because Mathematica can help you to for a lot of cases. Like suppose you want to add two numbers, 2 plus 2. That's not easy. Okay, and maybe something like free from input, something. Now if I want to add two number, 2 plus 2, answer will be expected 4. So this was your input, 2 plus 2 you gave you the input, and you get the output like 4. Now suppose someone want to plot, okay, I can show you one plot. Something like plot, then so I will teach you step by step everything. I want to plot one function like x, okay, y equals to x, I want to plot. So it will be x. Let's suppose I want to plot from 1 to 4. Okay. Now if I enter, you can see, I can so you can see, so it produced one very nice plot from 1 to 4, 1 to 4, 4. And you can label whatever you want. Suppose I give the name of this one, text plot. Okay. X-axis name is, suppose let's consider y equals to x. We can suppose like this. We know distance x is equals to velocity into time. So if suppose we consider for someone velocity is constant. So if velocity is constant, then x is proportional to t. If someone want to plot like this, x-axis suppose your time with some unit, suppose second, and y-axis let's consider. I will discuss in details in next also. Okay, now I have to clear this one first. And y-axis distance. Let's consider meter. And anything else, Okay, if I done. So you get a plot, something like time in second. So I define the axis time in second, and distance is meter. So this is one of the plot. So it is very easy to play with Mathematica, and I will teach you in the next class. So I guess all of you already install Mathematica. So if you are unable to install, let me know, and maybe tomorrow in the tomorrow class I'll be teach you more in details about Mathematica, how we can play with Mathematica in more details. Then we'll be start about Python. So thank you so much for your joining, and we will meet tomorrow at the same time in the same place. And in the tomorrow class, what will be discuss about? Okay, so this one is done for Mathematica. So in the next class, I'll discuss about how the programming is working. So today, till now, what we learn? We learn about what is computer, what is the parts of computer, whatever we is used, and how we installed Mathematica in your Linux system, and we teach how the computer stores some number. This whatever we learned yet. And now tomorrow's class I will discuss with you about how the programming is work. Okay. So I write some code and I will teach you how the programming will work. And also we will first we play with Mathematica in the next class. In few more different way we will play. Then we will write some we will install Python in the next class. Then we will write some small code for Python. Then we'll be discuss in details about Python and Mathematica in details in next few class, in the next maybe 2 or 3 class the next week. Then we'll be go back to Python and uh, then go back to uh, introduction to Python, and we're going in details about Python first. Then we'll be learn about C++. So this is the plan for next class. So I wish you all the best, and stay healthy, stay safe, because the time is very very bad. So try to save as much as you can, and don't go out if there is not anything is required for you, and try to stay at home. Okay, so see you in the next class. Bye bye. So I'll be let me tomorrow at the same time.